Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Finish Line Pub at the New Jersey Motorsports Park. Along with me today is my guest is the mayor of the city of Millville, Ben Romanik. Ben, how are you?
Doing well, Jim. Doing well. I'm glad to be here.
It's great to see. I got to tell you the story. I was here, I guess it was Thursday or Friday night. Thursday night, I think it was, for dinner.
Yeah.
Right here. And who do I run into but the Romaniks? Your uncle.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Uncle
right.
Gary.
I might have just missed you. Yeah.
Oh, were you with them?
Yeah. Well, I came a little later. But,
okay.
We're at the Bayshore Center down in Byville because they have their second Fridays, just like Millville does third Fridays.
So it was Friday. Yeah.
So
right.
Second Fridays, and they came. They left Byville a little sooner than I did, and I'm a little popular, so I had to say my goodbyes to everybody down there, and. You're down in Byville, and we came here, so I must have just missed you.
Yeah, I was leaving, have dinner, and then Gary and Cindy and your Aunt Jane all were with, and we were talking and having a good time and talking about
that's
things.
Every second Friday, I haven't missed one yet this whole year down in Byville. I mean, I just love what they're able to do, and it's just such a historical area.
Yeah, it is.
AJ Fairwald. And the restoration project of that ship, and just the area is so beautiful. Just being down there, on the coast, and I haven't missed one yet. But this is our go-to. We always go there, and on the way home, we gotta get a little bite to eat. Right. So we always come here to finish the pub.
Makes sense. Yeah, it was nice to see them. I haven't seen Gary or Cindy and Jane in a long time, so it was really great to see them and talk to them for a little bit, as things are going on. So. What's happening in the city of Millville? It's good.
There's a lot. I mean,
before we start, one of the good things is tell everybody where you're going to be Saturday at 11 a.m.
Well, this Saturday so my church is Ukrainian National Home. Ukrainian Home is hosting its annual dinner as we call it. It's from 4 to 6. We strongly suggest you get there early. It's first come, first serve. $17 a platter.
Wow, that's reasonable.
Homemade Ukrainian food. I mean, from holubchi, stuffed cabbage, to pierogies, to kabasi. I mean, you want me speaking Ukrainian? I will. It's a wonderful time, and we sell out rather quick. I'm gatekeeper, as they named me. I control the crowd, which is even wonderful because not a lot of people. It's not really Millville heavy. It's a lot from Cumberland County, and I get to people start lining up at 3:30, and the line starts forming, and I go, "Does anybody know who I am?" And they go, "No." And I'm like, now I get to say I'm there.
Yeah, that is great.
But it's a great benefit for the church and the hall. We have a great time. And roughly 200 dinners are being prepared, and we sell right around that number. We got a little bit more last year. So first come, first serve, $17. It's a wonderful meal. I mean, I love always having we have our pierogi projects throughout the summer, winter, and but still, when you get to have a full, complete meal of all homemade Ukrainian food, it's truly wonderful.
Yeah, you bet. Doesn't get any better than that. That's for darn sure. Now, actually, I was thinking about something you're going to be doing at 11 o'clock on Saturday.
At 11. That's right. That is the Tim Shen. There's so much going on.
I see.
This weekend is packed. Next weekend, the 26th of October. But talking about October 19th, and it is at 11 o'clock roughly, will be the Tim Shannon Memorial dedication of his own park complex. Just as we have the Rob Shannon Sports Complex, we're soon to have on Saturday the Tim Shannon Memorial Park Sports Complex, and that's located at Lakeside. So where Midget League football and soccer happens, and Millville Marching Band practices on roughly at 11 o'clock. We will have the dedication of Tim Shannon Sports Complex. You've known him more than I have, but the mayor fund. Yeah. It's as I said on Tuesday at the city hall meeting. It's hard to realize that he's already gone, but it'll be a wonderful time in the history of the city of Millville, and to preserve his name and legacy, and continue to move forward.
Well, it was interesting last night on Channel 22. We did a 2-hour special that we replayed it, that we had done probably a month after Tim passed away.
Okay.
And had all kinds of, it was nice because it was the people that knew him from athletics and school. They started when he went to school and, you know, where they went to school and stuff like that, Culver School area. And then went into his high school career, his sports career. And then, of course, when Joey Dorella came and joined me and a couple of others, we talked about his political career. And he was known as the Commissioner of Fun. And he really was just, and another wonderful thing he had done, and I'd forgotten, and Tim was, you know, they had a video of him there. He had started the Balcony Boys at the Leroy Theater, where it was $250 a year to be part of that club. And it just really, you know, in fact, he was the mayor when the Leroy opened. I had been working with him, and then he became the mayor in May of 2009. Yeah, I was there from 97 till 2009, and then that's when Tim became the mayor and took over and you know, did a great job with that. And just such a, you know what, Ben, I always put on like Facebook sometimes, who do you know that's bigger than life? I mean, you know, really somebody special.
Correct.
Well, Tim and Rob were certainly two of those people. Johnny Sorrentino, you know, I looking at different people, I know that when they walk in the room, they just light up the room. They're charismatic and you know, a lot of fun to be around. And it's wonderful that the city is doing this. I did talk to Samantha Cruz. Ryan will be there with a camera to video the program, so we'll be able to show it, and you know, often and things of that nature that goes with it. And I know you are going to be speaking. I guess Samantha and I guess Leslie, his wife. Possibly.
I believe Leslie as well. There might be some county representatives as well. I mean, it's more. You know, as much as I love to make it as big as possible, it's truly just, you know, it's for the city of Millville. It just to honor and remember all that Tim Shannon has done for this community. And it will be, you know, an emotional time period, you know, with Leslie there. And especially Sam, you know, Tim married Sam and John.
That's neat.
So, I mean, just you're talking about how, you know, when you said like lifelong charismatic people, and I was thinking about it, you know, but I was thinking on the way as mayor, how many people impacted City Hall. And I, you know, the first guy I talked to, who popped on my mind was Lou Thompson. I mean, he rose from the ranks from lifeguard to, you know, had many jobs throughout, you know, his tenure in City Hall.
Well, he was sort of the glue that held it all together because he was knowledgeable, had been there many, many years, was our administrator.
Tax assessor.
Right, he had all those titles, and of course, anything you needed to know, Lou knew it. So for all of us, when you come in, you know, you'd go to Lou and you'd find out.
I know. And now it's right now, as I'm experiencing as a mayor, it's the title change. And, you know, Laura Burns just retired.
I know.
So it's Jeannie, and then Joanna Webster, she's named deputy municipal clerk recently. But we still have Wendy Mercado. She's been there.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She, you know, stay on, Wendy.
You lost a lot of the people, my key people when I was there. And of course, Peggy Huff unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, I know, that's such a shock.
And Peggy and Laura and Doreen and I used to go out to what was, I don't know, the finish line. No, it was out next to where the hotel was, that place there next to Wheaton Village. There was a restaurant there. Yeah. And anyway, some Fridays, once in a while, we would go out there and just have a good time. And they were just such great people and put in so much effort. And how lucky we were to have them. And I know Jeannie's super, you know, your
I mean,
city clerk.
The more years they spend, they get to learn about, like, and, you know, learn about all that the city of Millville has. And, you know, I remember Jeannie months ago has always said, she's like, you ever go in the vault and just look? You know? I'm sure I'd have interest. But I mean, there's so much data and interest in just what the city of Millville has been for so many years. So, I mean, there's just like events you're talking about. You know, I was babbling about other events I have going on, but the 26th is packed, the 19th is packed with events. And even still on the 19th, I'll talk about at Glasstown Brewery is the Wheels and Squeals car show.
That's
kind of like
cool.
a trunk or treat. It's benefiting the Veterans Hospital in Vineland. Mayor Finucci and myself will both be there. They requested our presence. So going further from the Tim Shannon Park dedication, I will be going pretty much literally across town and heading out to Glasstown to say a couple words about what veteran suicide prevention is all about, and how it benefits the local community and our nation above. And so I believe that's 11 to 4 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. That's happening at a Glasstown Brewery, which is another great establishment in the city of Millville. And actually, Jim, as I was coming here, I noticed on Bogdan a brand new business of the city of Millville, Lavoni Meats.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they have a wonderful, nice sign right out front of Lavoni. I mean, big tall sign right in front of their building. Bright red letters saying Lavoni Meats. I wanted to stop and take a picture, but I had to come here.
Well, thank you.
But it's so proud to see business that you have brought in and successfully made Millville its home here in the Great Holly City.
Yeah, it is wonderful to get that business here, because that's the ones that help. It gives you a rateable, but it also gives you jobs and opportunity for people to be here. Boy, speaking of ratables, as I was coming in, I counted another new the building that they're building here.
The trackside condos.
Yeah, right. Well, what do they call them? Exotic car garages, right?
Yeah.
I mean, another one, and then another one down this way.
I remember when they were 6 and 7. I think they're 8 and 9 now.
It's unbelievable.
When they come to Millville Planning Board, that planning board is known as the Mayor's Board, so I sit on it, and it's fascinating. They just rinse, wash, and repeat, and it's amazingly successful out here.
And again, as I've mentioned, I took a lot of flack, as did the other commissioners, when this was here, because they got an abatement, which is normal that you do to draw new business in.
Correct.
And stuff like that. But now they're paying millions of dollars in ratables to the city because of these exotic car garages and the condos that were built before, and this building and all the other buildings that are here. And there's no impact on the city. There's no kids going to school. There's no shootings out here, knock on wood. We haven't had those. So you haven't need police protection. Maybe you do once in a while, but generally it's very taken care of itself, type situation. And it also draws people from all over. I mean, I was in recently, and people were from Wayne, New Jersey, that were down here. Mm-hmm. And this was interesting. They said what I've always talked about, especially when I was a county commissioner, that we are the other Jersey Shore.
Correct.
So these people came down, wanted to come here. We're going to Fortescue the next night at Sybil's for dinner. Mm-hmm. And then they were going to take a ride. They bought tickets for the Muir Wall down in Arthur. So, I mean, this is what it's all about, the tourism factor. And we are the other Jersey Shore. I mean, fortunately for Millville, we've got the Morris River. Yeah. Where, when you get down to Township and all that, and Commercial Township, as you're talking about, they're right on the Delaware Bay. Yep. And it makes for a beautiful place to go, and all the things that happen. We're talking with Mayor Ben Romanik here at the Finish Line Pub. This will be our last show this year from the Finish Line Pub as they close. I think it's the first Thursday in November. So that would be the 7th of November. So anyway, we'll be back to talk more right after these messages.
Advanced robotics, experienced physicians. When it comes to minimally invasive surgery, we don't play around.
When life gives you lemons,
make lemonade.
There's only one person who can truly change tartness into sweetness.
Bitterness into happiness.
His name is Jesus Christ. We can introduce you to him this Sunday. Then, you'll understand his instruction manual.
New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
New Jersey Motorsports Park. Experience the adrenaline rush of go-karting on our challenging tracks, with arrive and drive sessions, available for all skill levels. Looking for something even more daring? Try your hand at axe throwing. and see if you can hit the bullseye. After a day of excitement, relax at the Finish Line Pub Restaurant and enjoy delicious food and drinks. Group experiences are also available, so bring your friends and family. For an unforgettable adventure, visit njmp.com to learn more and book your experience today.
Welcome back to the Finish Line Pub at the New Jersey Motorsports Park. My special guest is Mayor Ben Romanik. And Ben, it's interesting, Millville, I guess this is the second time in 3 years that you're having a special election.
Correct.
And that's because this is Lisa, where Lisa resigned.
Yep.
And the first one was because I didn't want to take the seat. So
Correct.
It's interesting, in a 3-year period of time, you've had that 2 special elections.
Yeah. We had 2 special elections. They were after you just declined to take the seat. We appointed the 6th place finisher.
That's
so
right,
Robert
Bobby McQuaid. Yeah.
And he lasted until Stephen Watson came in and defeated him, and now is the commissioner of Public Works. He's doing a good job. I can't believe it's been like 2 years since then.
Yeah.
You talk about how government works so slow, yet it's so fast.
Time flies.
Lisa resigned earlier this year, and then so this one seat is being is vacate. We have Commissioner Ranello in spot right now as the appointed commissioner. She is running, but she's one of 3 running for that 1-year term. So November 5th will be very interesting.
Yeah.
It's you have Robert McQuaid running, you have Carol Cossapoon, and you have Maria Darminio.
It's funny, of those 3, I only know Robert McQuaid, and I don't know Marissa either. So, and I don't know Watson. I've never met him. So it's like, okay, it's one of those situations, but glad they're there to want to serve, and that's a good thing.
Watson does a lot behind. He's a full-time for
LSA.
Vineland Sewage,
Right? LSA, Managed Sewage Authority.
But he does a truly well job at understanding how the city of Millville works, and he was a previous employer of the city.
Yeah.
And he does a lot behind the scenes. As we're always talking about, like, I want to be in the limelight as much as possible. I'm the mayor of Millville.
Well, you should be. Yeah.
And I always want to be out there. I always want to be engaged. I always want to be talking with somebody, calling somebody, answering emails, talking with staff, talking with the clerk, my business administrator,
Who was the business administrator?
Joseph Couchy.
Good man.
Yes.
Used to be with the Daily Journal.
Yep. Yeah, that's he saw the writing on the walls, as said many people have.
Tough business.
And, he came on over. And then Sean Frower, my business manager for Public Affairs Office, to Christina, she's my secretary for Public Affairs Office. Robert Campbell, my zoning officer.
My buddy. He's the former mayor of Downtown
Township. Yep.
Good guy. He helped bring the sewer.
Yeah,
that's coming to Downtown.
11-year project.
Yeah, I was on the county commission or freeholder board when we helped him, support that. That's great.
Yeah, I had a good phone call with Bob Campbell today, and he goes, you're looking at the Levoy, and to the left of the Levoy is a white building, brand new white, painted white building. Yeah. He goes, do you know what that's going to be? And I was like, no, I don't think I've ever paid attention. And I was like, but do tell. I'm curious. He goes, young man has spent $2 million of his own money.
Wow.
He's renovating it. It's going to be a 10-room hotel. Each hotel room is going to be 2 bedrooms, over 1,000 square feet.
That's interesting.
It's going to be offices underneath the hotel, and then a restaurant to some effect on the ground floor.
I had heard about the restaurant. I didn't hear about all the others.
Yeah.
Supposedly. That's great.
So he goes. I got a tour of it recently, and I was impressed.
Oh, that's nice.
When Bob Campbell directly calls me, we were just a phone conversation. He goes, Mayor, you got to go there. He goes, I didn't know this was happening. So I was like, wow. I was like, neither did I. And then that was through a phone conversation. So maybe I'll be snooping around a little bit more around there and see if I can get my foot through the door. And he goes, he's a wonderful gentleman. So that's a little nugget of what's happening. But,
that's good to hear. Yeah, it really is. You know, the Levoy's still doing well, and always see plenty of cars down there. And it really, as you see with the city of Millville, the things that, in fact, you and I were talking about, the naming of the parks and the properties. Yeah. And I was kidding Ben because one of the other Ben mayors was Ben Corson. Of course, he's too young. You would never remembered him. I just barely remembered him when I was a kid. But they named Corson Park after him. And Connie Waltman, who was the Lou Thompson of the era when Ben Corson was there, Waltman Park was named after him. Now, I have to tell you, it was me that named the complex off Cedarville Road for Rob Shannon. I got everybody to go on board with me. It wasn't hard to do that. You know what Rob said to me? Jim, I can't believe you did that. You named the dump after me? I said, Rob, it's got the girls' softball there, and he was involved, and of course I was involved with that. But at one point it was a landfill. Of course, had the midget football field was there as well. That's sort of neat because initially Rob's complex off Cedarville Road had the midget football league. Now they call it the Holly City Youth League, and that's going to be part of Tim's park as well. So both great guys, and did so much for the city of Millville, and both, as we talk about, sort of bigger than life type of people. But you know, Ben, I'm proud of you. You're all over the place, which is great. And you know, and this is another nice thing. I text Ben today because he and I were going to meet here at 6 and have dinner and then do the show. And I was running late. I had to pick up a vehicle of mine that was being serviced. And I said, text him, can we do the show at 7 and we'll grab something after the show? Within 10 seconds, yes, sir. He's right back to me. A lot of people, you could wait 10 days and they don't get back to you.
Well, as you just said, you're everywhere. And today I got done work. I had places to go, people to see, and then you said can't make it till 7. I was like, no problem. I was like, I got more time to get all my duties done and have time on my side rather than time on your side to get here on time.
Yeah.
But no, I'm forever busy, but it's a joy. When I work my day job, I'm still doing the mayor job. It's 24/7. I tell you.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And we get I got the same amount of pay as you had.
Nothing.
It's 20, 30 years ago.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
It's a full-time gig, and you got to you represent the public, the people, the entities, the employees, and entertaining business outside of that. It thrills me every time I get an email, or especially when I get paper mail in today's age, and it has the Honorable Mayor Romanik, and I'm like, whoa! I was like,
you made it to the big time.
I was like, hello. But League of Municipalities is coming up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We have the neighbors out here to the New Jersey Motorsports Park, the Millville Executive Airport. There's a lot happening with that. October 1st, the city issued its letter of non-renewal to the Delaware River Bay Authority.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I did not know that happened. So you guys are going to run the airport?
Somebody with some, I can't talk about that. But Millville will regain control, and Millville will figure out a way to get the airport under control and furthermore develop it.
It's interesting. Bill Pikaliski, who's my buddy, is the mayor of Woodbine.
Yeah, I know Willem.
They have an airport in Woodbine.
Borough.
Yeah, and he just got a big grant. I don't know how much it was, but Cory Booker, or state senator, or no, actually United States senator for New Jersey, came down and presented him with a big check. I'm not sure how much, but hopefully be able to get some. Well, you got great connections. Come on, you got the senator. You got that Michael Testa, Senator Testa.
It's a very multifaceted decision. It's not the city alone. The city is working with other entities I have to be very broad and liberal as what I discuss right now because we are the building, the learning process of this. I mean, it's brand new to my administration, the staff working for the city of Millville. Brock, my attorney, might have some experience and he remembers it.
Yeah.
You signed the original lease agreement with the DRBA back in 1999.
Yeah.
So it's very, very multifaceted. I don't want to talk too much because there's ongoing negotiations, but I can't wait for the future to get here.
Yeah.
As we're talking about slowing down time, I can't wait to speed up time. I can't wait to see what will happen.
That's good.
And what we're working with right now.
Yeah, I think it was a little disappointing because when we looked at partnering or letting them lease the airport, the DRBA, that's the Delaware River Bay Authority, and they've got more money than God. Every time you go over the Delaware Memorial Bridge or use the Cape May Lewis Delaware Ferry, it goes in their coffers. So we thought, well, we don't have to worry about money. They certainly have the money, but they didn't seem to have the interest as time went on to be able to do what we had hoped they would do. So I wish you well with a new venture, whatever it may be. I'm sure it'll benefit the city down the road and, be nice. And the thing you mentioned I think we're off the air on the way in, but the Livoni, or the sign you saw.
Livoni meets.
Right.
We got
at the airport.
Early. It was this summer. It was rather, I say rather warm, very, very liberally again, but it was hot. And because they're Livoni and I've worked through my administration, my whole tenure being here in the city of Millville, and worked throughout their process of building that place and working with the city, working with them. That's one of my most amazing accomplishments right now, being in the city of Millville, to welcome them here. It's so profound. I can't put words. Nikolai Livoni and all his family and his staff. I just can't wait to see it flourish. And just like I said, when I came over here driving through Bogdan Boulevard, and they have a brand new sign, Livoni right above the top of it, right up front. Like I said, I was like, I'm gonna stop and take a picture, but I would have been late. It's exciting to see it. They're gonna grow right beneath us and employ people here, and Italian meat being not manufactured but packaged and distributed right here in the city of Millville, New Jersey.
That'll be great. It really will. As it's another job opportunity for people and a rateable base for the city.
Correct.
Those things are what you're always looking for to be able to grow the city and do the things that need to be done. So, and that gives once you have the Millville Executive Airport back under control of the city, there's certainly lots of land there that could be developed for
600 acres
for more projects like Livoni.
Yeah.
And the good thing is Vineland's running out of space. Their industrial park is
They bought
jammed.
private land to expand their public
I know.
industrial park.
They had mentioned
That's a nice problem to have.
It sure
Millville
is.
doesn't have this problem.
No,
But
Sandy,
hopefully one day.
Sandy Forsiski said they were looking for private land to expand because the one benefit that Vineland has is, in fact, somebody had talked about this dream that would never happen because of the environmentalists. But when I was first mayor, we had the industrial committee with John McDonald was the chairman of it. Super person. So John's theory was he wanted to see us get a bridge built from the end of Orange Street. So if you're coming in off of 49 go all the way down to Orange Street, he wanted to get an overpass and a bridge built there into the airport and where we are now. And, it made sense because the expansion, and I guess the reason I say this is why Vineland is doing so very, very well is Route 55 runs right next to their industrial park. You go
multiple exits,
exactly.
Not just one.
Yes, I mean you got 32, 39, and 30 or 35. So I mean they could get to it any way. And when you're driving a big truck, you don't want to have to go through downtown, and that's one of the things that made this not as something that people are looking for as much as there, especially if you're doing a lot of trucking. They do a lot of cold storage there as well.
That's
big
prominent,
trucking.
but Millville has just as, Vineland has multiple industrial parks north and south.
Right.
We have the Mike Lascardi's and then the James R. Hurley Industrial Park.
Right.
We're currently nearby. Mike Lascardi's on the east side of Millville is accessible by 55.
Yes, it is. It's only a few minutes off.
And, the paving of, I'm blanking on roads, Wade Boulevard all the way through to Orange Street that we got done, I think, the beginning of this year. I think 250 people paved that road, that 30-foot wide road, 40-foot road in one day.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Well, one of the things that frustrated me very much so was I had brought Railing Dynamics to Millville many years ago, and they loved Millville. They were renting out off of 10th Street, so they decided, I think about 2 years ago, they went to Durand. And Durand had land next to their building that they weren't going to utilize. So they offered to buy the land and to build I think 400,000 square foot facility and hire 500 people. And anyway, guess what? That land, for all of my life, even your grandpa's life, Mike Lascardi's life, was always an industrial land. As you said, that's our industrial park. But no. The environmental people found something, who the heck knows what it was, killed the deal completely. And guess what? The Railing Dynamics left. They're in Atlantic County. They built the 400,000 square foot warehouse there. They've got a phenomenal rateable down there. We lost that. And that hurts, because how can something that's been the industrial park my entire life and,
generations.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden that land is not usable, and they'd even had a railroad going through the land. Then that was horrible.
I could talk about of the municipalities in Cumberland County, or the 3 cities, Millville is the only city that has a river and can utilize its river system. And you remember, but the dock system. Remember the whole docks, people, especially when Silverton was next door.
Yes, right.
They were always building and just selling and floating,
exactly.
selling and floating. But our residents were able, and I was just got brought up today, and our residents were able to have their personal boats on the Marsh River.
Sure, Reverend Kenyon had one there. I mean, a lot of people did.
Yeah.
They rented their dock and all that stuff.
Abbott, my neighbors,
exactly. That's right. Yes. Yep.
But because of I believe a waterfowl, I'm not exactly positive, but I believe some bird was in the mating process. And after, a couple of them got damaged by a storm. And then the problem with the city didn't know exactly how the lease, and it was a lease program, but it was grandfathered in since 1973. Nobody really studied and realized it, but once again, if the city had more revenue coming in, that's an area of focus that we could designate and really improve, especially because the walking trail goes all the way out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I loved Captain Dave's boat ride. I have friends come in from out of the area. In fact, one friend was in just recently, and she was talking about how much she loved going to Captain Dave's boat ride, going out to the Millville Airport Museum. These are things that we have right here in Millville. You have Wheaton Arts, you have the Arts District, and all these tourist things. And another thing, Ben, that you would have had at this point in time, probably $400 million in rateables, had this other deal gone through. Larry Bathgate, very, very high up Republican. He had dinner with George Bush, Dick Cheney. He and I had lunch in Cherry Hill. He was flying from there down to Washington to have dinner with them that evening. Okay. And he wanted to buy the Holly Farm, 1,300 acres.
I know. And we talked about this.
Yeah, and he was willing to give $1,000 back to Nature's Conservancy. Nope. And we would have had 955 and over homes that would be worth probably
golf course.
Yep, the golf course, the whole bit.
I know.
No, nothing at all. So
NJDEP owns it right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're the ones that helped kill the deal as well. I mean, folks, I mean, somebody said to me, well, Jim, you like baseball and football. You should go out in the woods and look at the deer. I said, I'm not going to kill Bambi. That's not my thing. I'm not a Bambi killer. But I said, we have thousands of acres in Cumberland County that are already preserved. Isn't there enough in Millville, too?
47% of Millville is already preserved.
Yeah, there you go. See, and yet, half. That was so sad. And Larry said to me, he goes, Jim, I don't understand this. And he's all over the country. In fact, we're Facebook friends. And, and all the connections didn't mean anything. I won't tell you what he actually said, but I can't. But it was sad to see that go by the wayside as well. But on the positive side, you've got Livoni, and hopefully more things will be coming into the Jim Hurley Industrial Park.
Livoni will be having neighbors very soon.
That's good.
There'll be a presentation to the city upcoming through CRP, Commercial Realty Partners. That's been in the works for a long time. And that's another one to really develop the James R. Hurley Industrial Park.
That's good. Yeah, that is great.
It's all about bringing in revenue, bringing in businesses, and that's what truly drives municipality. I mean, you look at Vineland; they have hundreds of $1 million in ratables that they got in. Just over, what Finucci has been doing, and as I said previously, I support incumbent Commissioner Ranello. I still do, but talking about municipalities, Mayor Finucci is going to hopefully, and I believe successfully, do, and that will be the first time ever in the city of Vineland's tenure to have a 3-term mayor. So, City of Millville supports you, Mayor Finucci.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's done a wonderful job, and his people, Paul Spinelli and council, and also, of course, Sandy Forsiski is phenomenal doing the economic development aspect of what's going on in Vineland. And they've got, you talk about benefits, besides UEZ and all the abatements and things they're allowed to give, they've also got their own electric utility, and that's something where they can control the amount that the people have to pay for the electricity. So they do have, and it's a 69 square miles.
Yeah, the largest city in 5 square miles
in the state.
In the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's amazing. We're talking with Ben Romanik, Mayor of the City of Millville. We'll be back with Ben right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Advanced robotics. Experienced physicians. When it comes to minimally invasive surgery, we don't play around.
When life gives you lemons,
Make lemonade.
there's only one person who can truly change tartness into sweetness.
Bitterness into happiness.
His name is Jesus Christ. We can introduce you to him this Sunday. Then, you'll understand his instruction manual.
New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
New Jersey Motorsports Park. Experience the adrenaline rush of go-karting on our challenging tracks, with arrive and drive sessions, available for all skill levels. Looking for something even more daring? Try your hand at axe throwing, and see if you can hit the bullseye. After a day of excitement, relax at the Finish Line Pub Restaurant, and enjoy delicious food and drinks. Group experiences are also available, so bring your friends and family. For an unforgettable adventure, visit njmp.com to learn more and book your experience today.
At Mintz.
welcome back to Around South Jersey. Oh, no, this is the inside track. I don't know why I keep saying Around South Jersey. We're at the track, and we're inside at the Finish Line Pub. And I want to remind everybody, they'll be closing on the 7th of, the pub will be closing on the 7th of November. So if you get a chance, I'm telling you what, and Ben and your family can attest to this too. This is one of the best restaurants in the city of Millville. I tell you honestly, I brought a friend here. She came all the way up from Florida. She said, Jim, this food is fabulous. And people, it's hidden though, because people don't realize you can come out here. Anybody can come out. Just pull up and say, the mayor sent me. I'm going to go have dinner at the Finish Line Pub, and they'll smile and say, have a nice dinner. And you know, that's what it does. Of course, now the season's almost over, but you know, once it opens up again in March, please remember that, because it is definitely a great place. Speaking of places that opened, tell everybody what opened right around from City Hall.
Right around from City Hall.
Well, the place that closes at Memorial Day.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I know. I couldn't believe. Like somebody, I know. I couldn't believe it, because time, just as we're saying earlier, you know, time goes too fast. And yeah, Jim's Lunch.
Yeah.
Brand new season.
Yeah.
It has to be what, 101?
102. Yeah, no, you're right. 101. So it's
1923.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
101.
Yeah, that's right.
So I got to go.
Now, what do you like when you go?
Breakfast is one thing, but I truly like to get a lunch there. And I love their cheesesteaks, light sauce, fried onions. But I think it's Saturday. Get a cup of the white
clam chowder.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, just you gotta get your Jim's Lunch classic. You know.
Yeah,
But I like their cheesesteaks. I'm a big cheesesteak fan.
Of course, I never do breakfast because I'm never up for breakfast. Yeah. And actually, I love Fridays. Every Friday at Jim's Lunch is like Thanksgiving. Phenomenal turkey. It's the real turkey. You know, they actually carve it. You can get dark meat, white meat, whatever you want.
It's Thursday's prime rib.
Yeah. Oh, is it now? Okay.
Is it Thursday or Wednesday? I mean, it's a brand new season. So
Saturday. I don't know.
Got to see the sign out front.
Yeah. But yeah, and that is fabulous. I don't eat red meat, but they tell me the prime rib is fantastic. And of course, they meatloaf, and you know, each evening is one special one. And somebody posted on Facebook all the good things they have, and Nikki and Rochelle and the people there, just enjoy them. And boy, you know what, Ben, maybe you too, because you're single also. But me, being a single guy, when I go in, I don't want to sit at a booth by myself. And there, I wouldn't take up a booth because they need it. So I always sit at the counter. But I was so blessed to have so many wonderful people, including Ross Hoffman's father. We used to sit and talk. You'd find a lot of different people in there that were, friendly, and I enjoy the conversation equally as well as the food. And, and of course, Lynn's Deli. We're lucky in Millville. I mean, you got Jim's. Oh my God, Vern is a sweetheart, isn't it?
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean, that's what I got to say. That's my favorite breakfast.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet you. I'll bet.
I get the same thing every single time.
Yeah, what do you get?
P47 omelet.
What is it? A
P47
omelet.
Loaded.
Now, what's in that? Everything?
Ham, green peppers, onions, cheese. I mean, I don't know. I get they know right when I walk in. Tara goes, what do you want? Yep, wheat toast. Okay. Coffee and a glass of water.
Well, it's funny, Ben, talking about that. Like when I come here, there's a sweetheart waitress. So in fact, Ben and I were going to have a late dinner, but they are closing up at 8 o'clock. But when I come here, I always get this fabulous salmon salad. Oh, yes, my God, it's delicious. In fact, I had it the other night when I was here and I saw your aunt and uncle. And, but I think we tend to go, like when I go to Jim's Lunch, I'm getting turkey on Friday. And, during the week, I get she does have a crab cake, because I'm not a red meat eater, so a crab cake sandwich, or I'll get a tuna sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and that type stuff, and, chips and things. But, again, we are lucky, boy, with Lynn's and Verna's and Jim's, and it's just.
Lynn's Deli is this year's recipient for
that's
Pride
right.
in Millville.
Yeah, yep. And
the Hospitality Award.
Yep. They just, what I used to love, I think she still does, but unfortunately I can't eat anymore, is chicken and dumplings. She would put the dumpling where you drop the dumpling in. Now, Flick's Cafe and other places had the chicken pot pie, which is the flat stuff, the flat dough that they cut, and they cook that. I can no longer eat chicken pot pie thanks to Dr. Atiyah, because he's my surgeon who did the weight loss program for me, and pot pie does not go down, red meats do not go down. But I'm happy I'm the weight I am, because without him I'd be 100 pounds heavier.
Talking about pot pie on Tuesdays and Fridays, on West Millville, people will recognize this place, but Deli Plus.
They do a nice job too. Yeah, they do.
I had it, 2 days ago, chicken pot pie. They make a chicken pot pie soup.
Oh, no kidding. That's interesting.
And they have it on, I believe, Tuesdays and Fridays. But they had it. They introduced it last week. They sold out of it in less than 2 hours.
Wow. Yeah, it is. It's one of the real popular things in Millville, and
I love their pizza. Just for me, the convenience of going to it.
Yeah.
It is they hustle on the Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, and that's one.
And they're not open on Sundays, so
they're smart. Yeah, but they're really good people, and I keep forgetting them. Deli Plus, that they're very. Now, for me, I got to go to Bim's Pizzeria, because 52 years ago I started that when you weren't even thought about.
No.
So I mean, Joey Pierce has been there, and my condolences to Joe. He lost his wife Debbie, who's a sweetheart, and I know how tough it has to be for Joe. But this is interesting though, Ben. Joe loves people like you do and I do, and one of the things that Joe said to me after his wife had passed, he said, "Jim, I'm not going to give up the pizza shop, because that's my other social life, is the people that come in, have come in for 50 years, some of them, since he's been open." And I opened it, and I tell this story, I was only 22, something like that. And Bob Shannon, Rob and Tim's dad, was the manager of Millville Savings Loan.
Okay.
And I went to him, and I think I needed to borrow $50,000, something like that. And he gave me the money. And I mean, I was teaching school at the time. Yeah. So anyway, he gave me the money. We were able to get the thing going. But without Joe Pierce, he was only 16. And he was my main person. We had several other good guys that were friends of his who actually ran the pizzeria for me, because I couldn't make pizza. I can't do anything.
Really?
So, no, I really couldn't. I couldn't spin it. What happened when I'd spin the pie, the center would get so thin. Yeah. Well, it would get so thin that when you got one of my pieces flop down, it wouldn't stay up. So anyway, I was smart enough to get lots of good people that worked there as well, and that's another business still going strong. You talk about Jim's at 101. Bim's is 52, I think, at this point in time. So,
are you able to debunk that it's what BIM stands for? Is it the best in Millville?
No, that's a good point, Mayor. I had a partner named Bob Smith who passed away about a year or so ago. And so we took the B from Bob and the IM from Jim, and that's how we came up with BIMS. But it works out well, best in Millville.
Because he'll never say that. Because the public says best in Millville.
Exactly.
But they're so different. You talk about pizzas just in Millville. Go from Manny's to BIMS to Danny's to Deli Plus.
S&J.
S&J,
Well, and
S&J makes a regular pizza, but most people think that they make you get your party trays from S&J.
That's true. Joey has party trays too, but S&J has that. And this is my theory. Now, I don't know, you're young. So when mom and dad would get pizza, where would they get the pizza from? Deli Express?
Ooh, you're talking like
when you were a little boy. Yeah.
No, it'd be Amato's.
Okay, that's interesting, because now you got to understand. I used to have
that pizza going to the shore.
No kidding.
Yeah, the strip mall right behind.
No, I know where it was, and I knew them. Yeah. In fact, when I opened BIMS, Bruni's was still here and S&J was here, but all three of us, Bruni's, S&J, and BIMS, had what was the Dan Bruni formula. And Dan Bruni did not believe in mozzarella cheese. It was white cheddar, and then your sauce, and that was what you got, and then any extras you wanted on it. But when Amato's came, they had a different style. They had probably what everybody else, other than in Cumberland County, had. They had mozzarella and the cheese, and it was good. But it's funny, because I always say it's what you grew up with. I grew up with Bruni's Pizza. Most people that are older in Cumberland County, Bruni's was the only place to get pizza at that point in time. But anyway, Bruni's, S&J shot off from Bruni. Stanley and Julie worked for Bruni, opened their own place. Somebody was telling me the other day how much Joe Pepito was saying how much he loves S&J's pizza, and like you said, they have the party trays and and all that. So we're lucky talking about all these good food places.
I remember when the Wawa on Sharp and Main Street, it was all woods.
Yeah,
it was a flower.
It was a greenhouse.
Yeah,
greenhouses. Yeah, that's right.
So I don't, you call on Deli Plus. I was like, I don't remember them during my childhood. Maybe they were there, But Amados, I remember getting Amados and heading down to Stone
That was
Harbor.
convenient, on the way to the shore. It really was, and they did a really.
That was a good question, a good trivia question.
Yeah,
and I think most people, they're probably right around my age, the 30s to the 40s, that lived in Millville on the west side. Probably Amados was their go-to.
Yeah, it probably was. That's true.
And then they moved right where Paradise Pizza is right now.
Exactly.
And killed them.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? That moved because of the parking. Whatever. I don't know what it was.
I blame the others. They were on one side of the river and on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the same.
Yeah, that's true. It did.
They're in that strip mall and that laundromat next to them.
Yeah. A lot of activity.
So stinking hot, always in there.
Yeah.
The pie.
Yeah, now Wawa's there now.
They're still standing.
Yep.
That has to be one of the
oldest Wawa's around, ain't it?
Has to be one of the longest standing. Just what do they call it? The home style. There's a name for those type of Wawas.
Right. Without the gasoline pumps.
Yeah. I mean.
Yep.
It's Millville's Wawa. We call it Riverside Wawa. But
yep. I tell you,
it's been there forever.
I will not go there. The last time I went there, nothing against Wawa, except they should get all the panhandlers out from out front. It was like I got hit by 2 people, and dumb me, I gave them both money. But it's like I don't want to be panhandled all the time, and but
then you drive either way on Main Street. Go on East Main Street or West Main Street.
I go to West Main. It's probably the one you go to also, because that's closer. Sharp. That's one in that Sharp and West Main. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
You go all the way on the East End and East End Wade, and you're at another Wawa.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got the one
Sharp
on Delsey Drive. Across from Target, right?
Yeah.
So we're fortunate in Millville, and one of the things. Oh, this is something else. This was a pet peeve then that I had, and God bless the people who came in and opened the gas station at High McNeil Street.
Yes.
We had in Millville a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, all we had was the 3 Wawas and the Riggins gas station and the one behind on Second Street.
The old
Hess station, right. Thank you. They were all we had. Well, the suckers stuck us. We had the highest gas prices in Cumberland County because we had no competition.
I know.
Now we have competition. Yeah. This guy is running it at $279 and
cash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's $283 with credit card. But even now, I've seen the other ones have had to come down to be at least closer, maybe $299 now.
The Wawa at West End and Sharp,
right.
They're lower than the one at Second and High, or right across the street, because they know that they're going to hit all 55 traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Going out here.
Yeah, it's true. It was funny because I was just so frustrated. Oh, and the other good news is I don't know, Bennett. I think I gave you the guy's name that opened
the mini mart,
right?
The old 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I worry. I don't see many cars there, but his family's opening the gas station up in the Wheaton Plaza, so there'll be another gas station for us. We'll give competitive prices as well. So thank you to those guys for coming into Millville to get our prices down to the point where they're almost as good as if even in Vineland.
Yeah,
they were much. Near College Drive, there was one that's very inexpensive as well. But see, since Ben's been mayor, we've got all these new places coming in. The prices are lower. That's it.
all because of him.
Yeah, and he's running big dinners. Now the dinner's Saturday.
11, my dinner is Saturday from 4 to 6. First come, first serve. Roughly 200 dinners are sold. If you want Ukrainian home cooking, come out on Calmer Road. Can't miss the sign. It's been up for a month. I'm part of the sign committee for my church, so I put the sign up. It's once a year. We used to have it twice a year. It used to be spring and fall, and there used to be a dinner dance. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
It used to be the dinner. It was a buffet style, and then we had Polka Pete and his orchestra would play.
Yeah.
But that ship has long and sailed, and since COVID, we revamped it to this takeout style, and it's so much less stress.
Yeah, sure.
Don't have even though they're the house band, we still paid the band.
Yeah.
It all works out in the end, and it's just it's a wonderful experience, and I just that Ukrainian cooking smell. I just love the smell.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Well, talking about Ukrainian, I've said this to you too. I don't think I've ever met a Ukrainian person I have not liked. They are just wonderful. Well, we talked about the Romaniks.
Family.
That's what I mean right there. Everybody said, well, everybody loves the Romaniks. I said, yes, they do. And yet, I mean, we talked about the Duke Knox. So we can go down the whole list of all the wonderful Ukrainian people that were out there. And the most beautiful woman I ever dated was a Ukrainian lady. So they are beautiful women. They're beautiful people, and just really do an awful lot. And it's wonderful. We are so lucky, Ben, to have that Ukrainian community.
Yeah, that community, I mean, all communities, just the melting pot that Millville is. I mean, my family came here in the late 1800s.
Wow.
From Philadelphia, the 1890s, the Romanik name came down here. And it's just, you meet all these local families here in Millville that have been here for generations upon generations. And it's truly outstanding to see, and especially now, me being the youngest mayor ever in the city of Millville, continuing to move and grow the city and remember the past but expand on the future. It's truly remarkable to see the families that are still here and still continuing to be here in the city of Millville, as well as new families.
And now what Putin's doing to Ukraine, it would be nice to get the Ukrainian people, more people come to Millville. You won't get
they go to Vineland, but Vineland's bigger.
Oh, do they?
A lot of Ukrainians go to Vineland.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. At least they're in Cumberland County.
Yeah,
which is good.
But you have a Cornerstone Pharmacy.
Yes,
two brothers.
Yeah.
Two
kidding.
brothers.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, right on what's it?
Sherman and Main Road.
Sherman.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, they're good. They're good group of guys.
Well, Mayor, thanks for coming in, and I'll see you Saturday morning, and then, have a good weekend. You're busy. Everything's lined up
tomorrow. There's many events happening in the city of Millville. I think it's pumpkin. There's a pumpkin extravaganza happening. I think that's next Saturday.
Wow.
And then there's a Halloween on High, I think, happening tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
It's all outdoor event. I believe it's on High Street. My assistant Samantha Cruz is going to be yelling at me as soon as I get done that. She's like, you mismatched them, but it's all on the website. You can see all our events on millvilleNJ.gov and it's an exciting time here in the city of Millville. So I appreciate it.
Samantha Cruz is an amazing lady, and it's wonderful. In fact, going back to Timmy's thing, I had Liz Nicky on with me doing that show. We were honoring Tim. So I mean, Rob and Tim, and of course you had that department, but you have public affairs now. But the key person, the right-hand person to the Parks, Public Property, and Recreation Department was Liz, and of course Samantha's phenomenal as well.
Following in the footsteps.
They're just good, wonderful people. Anyway, for Mayor Ben Romanik and our producer Ryan Narowski, I'm Jim Quinn. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.